What's up, guys? Boogie back again. Boogie Army. What's up, guys? Thank you for your support. Thank you for liking the video. Subscribe. Road to 10,000 subscribers. My goal is 10,000 subscribers before the end of 2025. And the year is slowly but surely about to end. I know we just started August, but we're almost there. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for the liking my videos. Thank you for sharing. So today I got a few, well, maybe around maybe 10 videos that I have for you guys. A buffet of different dating videos we're going to be going through. And don't forget, for all the videos that I react to and I don't get to finish, I give credit to all the content creators and put the links down below. You're going to be asking me, Boogie, why do you do these videos? Number one, entertainment, obviously. Number two, to see what's going out here in the dating streets. The dating streets seem to be changing. Men have these standards, women have these kind of standards, and they seem to be, changing. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it's getting any better, right? Looks like the division between men and women is getting bigger. Women don't want to be criticized. Their standards are getting higher. Men are getting more frustrated. They're giving up on dating. And women are like, I don't care. Either way, you got to make the money that I want. What do you guys think? All right. So without further ado, man, just like the video, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. Let's get into it. All the way to Kendra G. And this woman is saying, if you don't make over $100,000, she's going to talk down to you. Like she's going to disrespect you. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it.
What's your name, love?
Ivy,
Avi, where you calling me from?
Chicago.
Avi. That reminds me of the name that was on Snowfall.
I don't watch it. Sorry.
Okay, it's over now. It was a good series. Avi, where you calling me from again, baby?
Chicago.
Chicago night.
Yes, it's Chicago now.
It's Chicago
But
night. I think all my guests have been, the majority of the guests have been from Chicago. So Avi, Chicago, how old are you, love?
36, 37, 36.
You don't know your age, baby?
Okay, look, when you get older, you start forgetting.
Okay.
So I'm about
Don't
to
have your hair cut off, okay?
37. I'm about to be 37 in like 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't have your hair cut off, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do
So
want
you're
to start off. Can I say something, Kendra, real quick? Just real quick. Little cousins, I got people in the comments. I want to say that taking pictures, so don't start with me. I'm a real life Aries, and I will hunt y'all down. So don't start with me. Okay.
Hold up.
Thank you.
Not
That lets me know she's gonna have some crazy, stupid standards, and she doesn't want people to criticize them. So she's trying to scare people that threaten people that if you say something I don't like, I'm gonna come after you.
screenshot. If you talk shit, she gonna find you after the show. And she from Chicago. I be trying to tell y'all. Listen, some people ain't about this life in real life. And y'all be real tough and big bad on the internet. But sometimes you're gonna talk about the wrong one, and they're gonna be real life consequences. And I'm gonna tell you one thing I know for certain, one thing I know for sure. Chicago people don't make threats that they don't back up.
I'm just
Now
saying.
that's it.
I'm just saying.
So they make you
Now
a
this
threat.
is real tough. It's 2.5 people on here. This is tough. Now, if y'all ain't been here, keep it quiet.
They don't make threats, they make promises. Take that. I live there. I know it. So y'all might not know Chicago people don't play. So
Can anyone guess what kind of attitude or character a woman has if she's the type of woman to make threats online? Can anyone guess what kind of relationship you're gonna have with such a woman? Can you guess?
if you ain't about that life, just keep your fingers off the comment section and watch the show.
Thank you. That's all I want to say.
Let's go, Sean. You ain't got to tell me, Ivy. I already know how y'all get down. Okay? Ivy, how old are you again, girl? What's the age we
Well,
going with?
I'm 36, about to be 37 in like 3 weeks.
And what's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aries. Oh, go for them.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, one.
How old is your child?
4.
Or why you not with the dad?
It didn't work out.
Have you ever been married?
No. Go, Robert, go sit down.
Ivy, Chicago, 36 Aries. What you do for a living?
Media.
What do you do in media?
Advertising. We actually used to work in the same building. I saw you before,
What business?
Kendrick. The Ion Center. So where you
Oh,
work at
okay.
WTCI, like right
Yeah.
downstairs. So I used to see you.
Yeah. Shout out to WGCI where I worked for 8 years before I quit my job and moved to California. So I think I won't shout it out. There was a couple advertising agencies in that
Yeah.
building.
Don't say
I,
that.
I got you, girl. Here we go. Ivy, she works in media advertising. Chicago, 36 Aries. Never married, right?
No.
Never married, one child, that's four. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
Here we go.
Someone that believes in God, and when I say
Of
like believe in
course.
God, not somebody just say like I'm spiritual or that say like, oh, I believe in a higher power. No, like you gotta say God. A man that's generous, a man.
We got Frozen, girl.
Yeah, because God knows she's lying. Talking about a
Let's see
man
if it
who's
comes back
generous.
in. We got Frozen.
She got to pay for her internet,
Let's
right?
see if we get it together. Hey, you ready?
Sorry.
Maybe that's why she was asking for a man who's generous. She wants a man who's going to pay for her internet.
I'm sorry about that. I don't charge
Yeah,
my.
we was on. Okay, we were on Instagram.
Mhm.
We got disconnected. I know you from Chicago. Let me pull you up because you said some stuff. I'm from Chicago. She let it be known on Instagram she was screenshotting. She had people screenshotting anybody talking shit about her. So she will see y'all later.
And
She
I
will
don't
see.
play.
Okay, here it is. Here we go. So Ivy is media advertising in Chicago, 36 Aries, never married, mom to a 4-year-old. I can't remember where we left off, but this is a new platform, so I'll just ask you so they can understand who we talking to. What kind of man you looking for, Mama?
I'm looking for a man that's believe in God and not just say like, oh, I'm spiritual or I believe in a higher power like those folks in California. No, I'm talking about real God. A man that's a problem
Wait,
solver.
what happened? What you say about the folks in California?
So like it's so many people like this young generation. They be like, oh, I believe in a higher power, or like they don't want to say God. I'm not with that. No, say you believe in God. Otherwise, it's absolutely not. I don't. I
But why
did.
did California get that straight bullet? That's everywhere.
You guys notice how when women get older and they, for some reason, they find God, now they believe so much in God. Yet when they were younger, they just used to be in the streets, do whatever they want. You can't tell them nothing. They are open and free spirits. And then when they get 35 to 40, 45, and even older, now they know God. And then another reason that really, something else that confuses me, and some of you guys maybe, they claim they want a man of God. They claim they go to church, but for some reason they never choose the guys in the churches they go to. Are those guys broke? Are they, they like to call them brother in Christ? Are they not good enough? Because if God is the number one priority in what you're looking for in a man, I would think you would find that man in your church. But for some reason they look over the guys in their churches. I wonder why.
Go sit down. Sorry. Go sit down now. Sorry.
Baby mama alert. Single
Okay,
mama alert.
continue. So you gotta believe in God, not a higher power, child. California, we done got a straight bullet, but okay, keep it.
Okay, so yeah, what else did I say? A man that's a problem solver. I love a man that's a problem solver. So if I call you up and I say, hey babe, such and such, okay, I need you to problem solve with me. Like I do that on a regular day basis, but I know I need a man to come through. I like a man that's family oriented, that gets along with his mother, and the rest of his family members. Um, a man that is generous, a man that's a giver. So
Oh yeah, you know what's funny? Another girl said this tonight. She was in Houston. Generous. I feel like generous is the new code word for my ladies.
yes, it is. And I love a man that gives.
Me, a man who's going to spend money on me and be my retirement plan. Anytime you hear they have switched from I want a rich man, they have switched from I want a provider, now they call it generous. Because guys, best believe just because you're rich, it doesn't mean you're going to spend money on them. So instead of saying I want a rich man, They say I want a generous man, meaning even if you don't have enough money, whatever little $20 Boogie has, is gonna be able to spend it on them. That's what they mean when they say generous. That way they don't run into the rich men, because not all rich men want to spend money on these women. But so now they're trying to make sure if you have money and you talk to them, you're gonna spend it on them.
And thinks about me, and a man that comes with his own finances, and when he go to the store, he's automatically thinking about me. And don't get it wrong, I got my own job, y'all. I make my own money, but you gotta come.
Okay, so if you make your own money, you got your own job, why are you asking for a man in particular who's generous, who's gonna spend his money on you? I thought you make your own money. That's an oxymoron. That doesn't make sense. In one sentence, they say, I'm independent, I'm strong, I make my own money, I'm a career woman, I pay my own bills, but the man should come in and pay my bills. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Money.
Okay. Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Now, y'all don't shoot me, y'all. But I don't want a man that has multiple kids. I don't want a man that's an atheist. No, no smoking. I don't marijuana, cigarettes. Absolutely not. I don't do that. I think you like a low life if you do it. But whatever. I think
Wait,
that's
you said no cigarettes?
yeah. No cigarettes. No marijuana. You can drink. That's fine. I drink as well. Um, I think that's about all. Trustworthy. I think that's a given to say. But,
Okay. Okay. Should he look a certain way?
handsome. Um, I don't have a preference when it comes to height. I'm 5'6", but a lot of people think that I'm taller than what I am because I wear a lot of heels. So I'm not saying that I'm looking for somebody that's 6 feet. Just either my same height or a little bit taller than me. And like I said,
Okay.
and I dabble. So
Say
why?
what, baby girl? Say the last part.
I dibble, I dibble. So you don't have to be black. So I like all race. I don't discriminate at all.
You don't have to be black as long as you get the green. As long as you get the color green, oh, some blues, you get the Benjamin, she's fine. She doesn't care about your height, which we know it's a lie. There's lots of short guys, but for some reason the short kings never get love. They try. So here's the thing. Here's the new thing they do. They try to make themselves seem like they're not the. Because we like to say that women want the same kind of man, right? So because we say they want the same small percentage of men, they try to make it seem that they're different. I don't care about height. I don't care about this. But you may go through their phone and they're rejecting the short guys. They're rejecting the guys who make 50,000. They reject the guys who are in church because they're too nerdy. Yet they claim they're different.
So I'm open to that.
Well, that definitely increases your options. I think, I for
It
many
doesn't.
years have stated that in my personal world, the black man, regardless of whatever happened, I've always been loyal. But I do feel as though, ladies, I'm not sure if black women should be loyal to who loves you, right? Be loyal who loves you. Don't waste your life waiting on somebody to love you the way you can be loved by another person. If they're a different race and they're loving you properly, I'm 1000% behind that. Okay, so don't waste your life for somebody that is not trying to support you, be with you. Now, this does not apply, and I want to make sure I'm clear. There's plenty of black men out there who love black women, black families, only want black women, but there's also black men who are very open to dating other races. And so when you have that mindset, black women, you have to be open minded to the same.
Look, I don't care. Date who fits you, and I do the same. I didn't
Okay.
date it out my race before, so I'm
Okay.
totally open to it. And I just want to make one. I know I said generous. I know you probably gonna get to that question. Well, I'll
It's the
just
next question. It's the next question.
So before they go on to the money, because we know she's gonna say, "Yeah, I want some rich guy," blah blah blah, right? Here's the problem with women, black women, thinking they can just go date out of their race, meaning they can date white guys or Latino guys and other races, right? Here's the problem: the same way they don't approach black men and they have to wait for black men to approach them, white men, Latino men, Asian men have to approach them as well, right? So the same things black men complain about, you're not going to do those. You're not going to take the attitude and the masculine energy and I'm independent, don't need no man attitude to white men. They're not going to accept that. So if you're going to run away from black men, number one, white men have to want you. Number two, they have to approach you. Number three, you have to find a white man who's going to put up with your bullshit. And chances are it's not going to happen.
The next question is, should he make a certain amount of money?
And over 100K. Let's just say either at 100K or a little bit over it. And the reason why I say that is because I'm literally there in my career, but also I know myself, and I hate to say this, but I will talk down on a man that make less than me. So I choose not to lower that. I want somebody to make over than I make, so it won't be no arguments and there won't be no jealousy. So yeah.
She says she will talk down on you if you don't make over 100K because she makes 100K. In other words, she will disrespect you. In other words, she's going to argue with you. In other words, when you say, baby, let's go right, she's going to say, no, let's go left. You're broke. So any man who makes less than 100K, you're broke to her. You're below her. And these are things men talk about, black men are talking about, and then they decide to get on the plane to go to Brazil, to go to Asia, to go to Africa. And then these same women complain, oh, why are you going to other countries? You're just broke. But you just said you're going to respect a man because he doesn't make more than you or he doesn't make 100K. But why are you worried about how much a man makes if you already make money? You cannot brag how much you make money and you pay your own bills, and then you have an issue with a man who doesn't make. What if I make 90K? So you're saying you're gonna disrespect me because I make 90K? My goodness, we are cooked.
Y'all, 100K is nothing. Do y'all see what Trump is doing? So let's not. Okay,
wow.
That's literally like the bare minimum at this point.
Wow.
So I want to make it really clear. If you got a job, you will understand. If you got a kid, 100K is absolutely nothing.
Wow. Wow, guys, I'm speechless. And I probably shouldn't be talking. I only have $20, so I shouldn't be saying anything. We are cooked. The 100K is nothing. And you know the only reason they say 100K is nothing? Because they want to take trips, they want to go shopping, they want to wear Gucci, they want to go to Beyonce's concert that charges $500, and then they want to go see Chris Brown meet and greet that charges $1,000, and then they want to drive the 2025 Benz G-Class, and then they want to go to a cruise ship, and then that's the only reason they claim $100,000 is nothing. I told you guys in 2024 they were saying six figures, but these days 6 figures is not just 100,000. They are talking about 250,000, 300 and more. So if you make 100,000, she's saying that's nothing to her. Wow.
Couple questions. Okay. You have a 4-year-old. Does your 4-year-old's dad make 100K?
No, that's why I'm not with him, actually, because he's jealous of me.
Okay, but you gave him a baby. So your baby daddy doesn't make 100K, but you gifted him a baby. But you want the new man that is getting nothing from you to make more than 100K. Wow.
But we're not going to get into that.
Well, we're going to stay here for 1 second, because what's what men will say. You had a baby by a man that didn't make 100K, but now you want a man that makes 100K or more to raise that child with you. They're going to say that.
Yeah, I understand. But when you have a kid, you do raise the bar. And unfortunately, and it's just that. You raise the bar. I know where I am in my career. I know what I make. So it is what it is. If you don't make that, it's totally okay. You don't have to reach out to me. It's somebody else for you, not me.
Ooh, child. Wait, hold on. Your phone was going in and out. You said,
guys,
when
boys,
you have a kid, you raise the bar.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you see, Kendra, she doesn't hold them accountable. But when a man comes to her show and says, "I'm rich, I'm a high value man," and then she starts, "Oh, what makes you a high value man? Why do you think like that? Why do you think money is everything?" Yet she hosts women who talk crazy like this, and she laughs. Now, I know why she laughs, because she has the same mindset like the women on that show, because she wants the same kind of man. Everything this woman suggested that she wants, Kendra wants the same thing. So I understand why Kendra wouldn't hold them accountable, because she has the same kind of mindset. But if only she can stop trying to hold men accountable when they come to our show, talking about how they want a woman who's a 10 out of 10 to submit to them, and they have got all this money. Damn.
You gonna
Oh
be a
my God.
highlight.
And I'm okay
Wow.
with that, y'all. I love all y'all, but as black people, as I want the black men, stop paying attention to those podcasts. Get out here and get in the field for real. Go make some money. Stop arguing with females. Go make your money.
Avi, I would say this. Listen, I'm not mad at you. But is there any self accountability for maybe having those requirements before you had a baby by somebody, because that didn't make that tax bracket, because you just told men to go out there to make some money, and okay, but they're gonna shoot back and say you should say that to your baby daddy.
And look,
See?
I
See? Speechless. She has nothing to say. Shout out to Kendra. Finally, trying to hold them accountable. Finally, Kendra. Long overdue.
can't argue with the go in your room and sit down. I can't
Single
argue
mom.
with that. I honestly can't argue with that. All I do is can say that actually I
Speechless.
don't got nothing else to
Of
say.
course, you have nothing to say, because it doesn't make logic for you to make a baby with a man who didn't make six figures, but the guy who's going to be a stepfather and raise a bastard to come and demand him to make all this kind of money and to spend it on him, on the baby, on your kid. Because it's one thing for them to say men should make money. It's another for them to say, but I'm independent. I make my own money. But the reason I want you to make lots of money, because I want you to spend it on me and to spend it on the kid that doesn't belong to you. That's stupid. That's foolish. Which, you know what?
About that.
It is what it is. Okay, we'll move forward. Okay, we'll move.
Go out
Say
the way.
again.
I only can go about what I make. Now, my baby daddy, and yes, I take full accountability. And it is what it is. What do you want me to do? My child is already here. My child is loving. We both love our child together. What you want me to do? It is what it is.
Okay. We got some paid questions. You ready for them?
Let's do. Let's go.
Let me read it first. Okay, Madison. I'm sorry, I have to comment. Speak down to someone who is making less than you. How about raise someone up? Would you have liked someone to speak down to you? Focus on raising up your appearance, by the way.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Shots fired. Which is true. Can you imagine a black woman saying she's going to speak down on you just because you make less than her? That she's going to disrespect you? Because that's pretty much what she means, that she's going to disrespect you. But then the same one black woman wants you to accept her kids from a different man. Let's see how she answers this.
Madison, drop your Instagram in the chat. We're gonna go toe for toe, baby. Because I'll go straight to your page. I promise you. If you go outside and I go outside, baby, it is no questions. I promise you that. I hands down, I promise you that.
The attitude, the
Woo!
threats.
Woo! She said, show your face. She said, show your face when you talking so she can properly address. I mean, that is kind of fair because y'all do be talking with faceless. But either way, okay, we're gonna keep on going. Onyx said, are you willing to reciprocate that generosity?
Never.
I am.
Never.
I am.
She's not.
Yes, I am.
That's a lie.
Okay. Okay. We did okay, so this one I have to ask you. If the guy made 70K, don't reach out to you.
I prefer not to, honestly.
Wow. Guys, we're cooked, man.
Don't do it.
No.
Okay. If you ain't making matter of fact, if you're making 99,
Look,
huh?
if it's like 90, 95,
Wow.
okay.
Okay, 95 is the lowest.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna say this, right? And I'll put the link down below because I'm not gonna go through the half-hour video. But I'll say this: you can tell she's a okay-looking woman, good-looking woman, right? And thick enough for the average black man. I think 80%, maybe 85% of black men would be okay with the way she looks. They would be willing to be with her, right? But these standards, I'm telling you guys, there is no man in his right mind is going to listen to this. Even there is no rich man. Even if a man makes $1 million, he's not going to watch this and think this is going to be the love of my life and think this is going to be my wife. No, they're going to think, okay, she looks good. I'm going to clap cheeks. I'm going to make sure I don't make a baby with her and move on. I'm telling you. What do you guys think? All right, next we're gonna go all the way to Ask a Brother, man. Look at my boy, Ask a Brother. He's reached 20,000 subscribers in just maybe a month ever since he went viral on Lapif and other platforms, man. Shout out to you guys know him as Black Therapist. You like when I react to his videos. He has been in my comments, so shout out to the brother. You guys have really supported him. And you know, this is gonna be for the man. If you're probably still watching this, and if you're gonna watch all this, you're probably one of the guys who like to hold yourself accountable and you want to grow. So let's go through it. He's going to be talking mostly about the man. So let's go.
I think one of the hardest things for us to do, like you mentioned, is to look introspectively and say, look, this just isn't right. Most people don't do that. And I think that a big part of it is because of social media.
Yeah.
You're able to go into other people who can relate to what it is you're doing, and you'll hear it. And then your algorithm will train you to continue to follow these people. And then you have these echo chambers.
Yes.
So what I wanted to ask you was, how do you think social media has negatively or positively impacted relationships today?
Oof. I think it's mostly bad, unfortunately. I do believe that it has tricked us in terms of the belief in an abundance and optionality of the opposite sex. Partially in both sexes, it's for different reasons. For men, the objectification of women, both in terms of when we objectify them and when they objectify themselves, has conditioned us to really, really struggle with lust. We're getting access to seeing more women naked than kings in medieval times ever saw in their entire lifetime.
I'll keep it G. My Explorer page is tore up.
Right? Like, so,
I don't even open it in front of anybody.
So think, what is this doing to us as men when we saw 500 women naked having sex by the time we were 18 digitally? Right? That doesn't even play into the open Wild Wild West actual dating market in terms of how people are approaching sex. So it's kind of it's probably damaged us to a degree to where it's very, very difficult for us to really understand and conceptualize the importance of monogamy, the importance of stability, and the importance of not leaning in our carnal nature and impulses that could potentially cause our demise financially, emotionally, and psychologically, which is often the case of why so many men end up taking themselves out. They oftentimes take themselves out of here after dealing with a negative interaction with a woman where a relationship fell apart. I was there. I was very close to that. So
Really?
I was at a spot and point when I did the Playboy thing. I did the City Boy thing for about huge half my
What's up?
right. I was up for real, right? And it was very, very difficult to be the guy that my ex at the time probably needed. And I failed. I failed morally. I failed I failed sexually in terms of just not being able to figure out how to kind of slow down and stop doing this. And a lot of men's time of intentionally trying to practice sexual discipline is only when they're in a relationship.
That's true. I believe personally, like most guys who get married, they only get married because the woman asked them to get married. Most guys who are in committed relationships, usually it's a woman asking for monogamy and a commitment and like what are we? Yeah, usually it's the women who are asking what are we. So most guys who get into relationships, it's because the woman was putting them on pressure. Even marriages. You feel me? Because I believe most guys will be okay just being there with a woman. They enjoy the woman's company, they enjoy each other, you know, They do what they do, but they don't have like they don't attach different labels and things like that. Usually women push for monogamy and marriage. But one thing I want to, you know, one thing I like about the black therapist is the fact that at least he talks about men holding each other accountable. And I believe a man who has self-awareness can hold himself accountable, look within and see what he can do better. He's a man who can be unstoppable, and something I've been working on as well. If you're a man, you can try to control your lust, try to work on your weaknesses, try to understand women's nature, try to avoid the same mistakes that you did with women in the past, and because there's so much booty on and naked women on Instagram and social media, that as a man, if you don't control yourself, man, you end up in issues. You end up with, you know, baby moms and child support and weird allegations, being used for your money, free foodie dates and things like that.
Right.
And that's what happened, where I'm trying to figure out how to do the right thing in real time while I'm hurting the
Yeah,
women I'm
that
with.
it kind of doesn't work that way in anything else that you try to do. You're trying to learn to be a professional at a relationship while you're in it.
Yeah.
Like that just doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So imagine you take on a job that requires a high level of certifications, degrees, and experience, and you have none of those things, and you're getting a performance evaluation every week. You're gonna lose that spot a little sooner than you realize, and you're going to keep being reminded, and they're going to keep being reminded why you're not meant to be in this role in my life. That is what's happening. Is a lot of times we're trying and attempting to establish and maintain sexual discipline, but we're only able to try to do that when we're in a relationship. We don't practice and try to do that when we're single. On our own, we just out here doing our thing. So, I think social media has definitely damaged our view and perspective of women. It's definitely messed with us to the degree of where it's like, and then what you said with the algorithms, we have a much more negative view of them in terms of their nature, their actions, their behaviors, as a result of watching all this content where we're seeing the worst of women,
Right.
the dumbest women, the worst women, the most evil women are now, we're starting to project that onto all women with how.
Yeah, well, because even a good woman is usually going to have friends who are either feminists, who like to, do their thing, who like to be in the streets, who only like men for money. So it's like it's very hard to choose a good woman out here, because 9.5 out of 10 chances her friends are crazy. And it's not like once you get in a relationship with a good woman, she's just going to drop her friends. Because as long as she's going to be hanging out with her friends, there's a chance she's going to be picking up some of those habits. Because women like to feel like they are part of the group. So can you imagine a good woman hanging out with her single friends who like to be in the streets? If she doesn't do some of the things they do, they're going to ostracize her. They're going to kick her out of the group. And women like to feel like a part of the group. Women really value being friends, right? So by the end of the day, I think a man who can control his lust, which is something I think he was talking about as well, a man who can control his lust is a strong man. You will even see it like if you date a woman and you're not trying to like sleep with her, you're not putting out that kind of energy. Like you have the energy of I don't care. I don't care whether we have sex or not. Two things are gonna happen. She will either think you're gay, she will think you're weird, she'll be like I can't read you, or she'll leave you alone because you're not chasing after her. Because she's used to men chasing after her and men trying to get in her pants. But if they're kind of the guy who's just you don't care, you don't whatever it is, you just go by the flow, she will look at you different.
We talk, with how we carry ourselves, with how we treat them. It happens, and I believe that a lot of guys who end up black pill and check out, it's because they've overestimated the worst aspects of what women have to offer, and now they've undervalued the positives that come with doing life with women. So there's a little bit of that on the women's side. From a comparison standpoint, optionality, the ability or belief system that they can replace men from all over the world being able to access them so freely has, like you said earlier, tricked them into believing that if and when a man that has means, wealth, or is very good looking, has access to you sexually. You believe that you're now on his level when usually you're not. The overwhelming majority of women that's in his rotation, that's in his list of body counts, they're not his equivalent. That's why you're on the roster. That's why you were on the list versus being the only one. If he can sleep with you and your homegirls and a lot of beautiful women notice him in the room and he's respected by most men and desired by most women, if you're not a 9 or 10, you're not on his level. I know you think you are, but you're not. But then they carry themselves that way, which results in them overlooking all the men that are actually at their level.
That's
So
facts.
average women, we've heard it from Kevin, we've heard it from Fresh and Fit, we've heard it from all these different people.
We've heard
Social
it from the
media
women.
has rigged and trained a lot of women's views of themselves in relation to the dating market, in relation to other men, to where they genuinely believe that most men that are average looking, average wealth, are no
They're not
longer
good enough.
qualified for that.
And that's why, like, relationships, marriage, are gonna keep going down. Because the truth of the matter is, majority of human beings on walking the planet Earth are average people. Average height, average looks, average income, average skill set. We are all, most of us are all average. We have very few Jeff Bezos. We have very few Elon Musks. We have very few presidents. We have very few ministers. We have very few millionaires. We even have very few people who make more than 100,000 a year. But average women, even we women who work at McDonald's, believe a man who works at McDonald's is not good enough for her. Even women who work at McDonald's, who work at Walmart, believe a guy who makes $80,000 is not good enough. So that's the craziness. And men are like, I'm gonna walk away. Some guys obviously are trying different countries where, traditions, and some women probably are still kind of feminine or submissive, but because the feminist mindset is going like wildfire, it's eventually going to reach almost the whole world. That's why people in the Middle East are really fighting it, but I think it's too late. What do you guys think? Anyway, shout out to Jeff St. James, very unique name. I call him the Black Therapist, like most of you. Link down below to his channel. All right, next we're gonna go to Kendra. This woman came with a list of 1,000 things she wants from a man, and she didn't really say what a man gets from her. So let's go.
How are you?
I'm 40.
40. And what you do for a living?
I'm an accountant.
Accountant. Do you have any kids?
I have one 14-year-old.
One 14-year. Been married?
No,
Never married. And what's your zodiac sign?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. So we got Cash Out Cleveland, 40, Scorpio, is an accountant. Also 14-year-old, never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I'm looking for a confident and driven man who has a leadership mindset, who has a good balance of being kind but also masculine.
She's reading from a list.
A
You
good
see?
sense of humor, a elevated like thought process and mindset. Um, a man whose goal it is to be a husband, not to just like have a wife, but to actually be a husband, who has a relationship with Christ and is grounded in like the biblical faith, or the Christian faith. I want a man who understands the importance of discipline, who has self-awareness, and a man who prioritizes his family. Um, I'm looking for a man who has good chemistry, that we could be friends, um, and like a friendship within our romantic relationship. Thoughtful, considerate, attentive. Somebody who's self-aware and knows how to read the room. Um, a man who is health conscious, and just like overall like cares about their not just like physical health, like mental health, as well. And a man who understands the power of like servant and sacrifice, and somebody who's well traveled and smell good.
Ooh, child, you got the long list.
A long list. But now, guys, I can bet you $20. She read a list of 1,000 things she wants from a man. I can bet you $20. She doesn't have 5 things, tangible things she's gonna give a man. I can bet you $20 she doesn't have a list for things she's bringing to a man's life. She's gonna say she's a prize. Watch.
Top 5 non-negotiables.
In that I just said,
Yes.
A man who's grounded in Christian faith is number 1.
Okay.
A man who understands the importance of serving and sacrifice.
Okay.
Number 2, is confident. I cannot do people who are insecure. That's 3. Number 4, I think, would be kind for sure, and considerate. Consideration is important.
Okay. All right.
I honestly believe the reason why these days every woman seems to be asking for a man of God and a Christian man is because they want a one man they're going to be able to walk all over. Because, if a man really is a man of God and believes in church, it's almost like wanting a man who goes to therapy, because they know most of the time therapists take the woman's side. If like a couple, they go to a couple's therapy session, they usually listen to more to what the woman has to say, and they never care about what the man has to say, right? So I believe the only reason they're trying to look for men who believe in God, because there's plenty of men of God in the churches they go to, but they don't want those men. Ask yourself why. They just want men they can just walk all over. They want the man who's like Future, who's like Drake, who's like Chris Brown, has money of Chris Brown, height of Chris Brown, but he can't get women like Chris Brown.
And what are your deal breakers?
My deal breakers is people who want more kids. Anybody who wants me to have any more kids. Somebody who does not have a relationship with Christ, lack of self-awareness, lack of discipline, no sense of humor, and somebody who's not like rational, has a rational thought process, bad hygiene, and I think this goes without saying, cheaters and liars, and somebody with a temper.
Okay. And should he look a certain way?
Not necessarily. Just like I mentioned, like somebody who has who cares about like their physical health. So just somebody who like takes care of themselves and takes pride in themselves and their appearance. So not necessarily looking a certain type of way, but those characteristics will just like make you show up a certain type of way.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Here we go.
I don't want to. It's not a certain dollar amount that they should make.
Yes, it is.
They should be financially sound, because everybody's situation and circumstance is different.
Okay, so tell us.
So they should be financially sound and have disposable incomes with whatever your situation is.
Okay.
I will translate for you guys. Have disposable income because I want to take trips. She has a kid because you gotta be able to provide for a kid, right? She wants to go shopping, so you gotta have disposable income to take her to eat and shopping, right? Have disposable income, not for you, for her. Because if it was for you, she would say that money doesn't matter. Because by the time you're going to talk to her, you probably already buy your own food and pay your own rent. No, disposable income means be willing to spend money on me. So she tried to play like as if she's not a gold digger or she doesn't want a man who makes money, but I just helped you translate.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay.
Okay.
Great shape.
She's thick, like the black man likes her.
Keep you here on the.
But unfortunately, she doesn't want average men. So she may look good, but I'm sorry for you guys. She doesn't want you if you don't have disposable income, and disposable income is not $20. So
that because we beta tested. But why
Okay.
would you don't want to go on social media?
Oh Lord, Kendra.
No, it's okay. Listen, I mean, you look
I'm
good, but I definitely don't. I definitely here's the deal. I'm not gonna force you because the comments. I mean, one thing I'm gonna tell you, the comments gonna talk about your list. So if you want to stay here, it's fine. But
yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. If I put you on social, they're gonna say, "Dang, her list is long."
But you know what, Kendra? I don't ask for anything that I can't offer. And I know we're gonna get to this question, but I just feel like that I have a lot to offer.
what? What
Um
is that? You already say you don't want a man who wants more kids, which means they're going to be able to take care of your kids. So why is a rich man going to choose you and then have to pay for your kids? Because you want him to have disposable income. So if you're not giving a man any more kids and you already have a kid, what is that a lot to offer? Because we know men don't ask for too much. No man has a list of the same things that you mentioned. So let's see what you have to offer a man.
and so I don't ask for anything that I can't
Okay, well
give.
that's what there you have it.
Yeah.
Whatever she
And
asked for.
typically, like, I never asked, I never tried to go on the Instagram one just because, like, I'm so shy. Like, I'm so nervous right now.
Okay, yeah, we're
And
gonna keep you in the app because I ain't even gonna
okay.
hold you. If I put you on social right now, it's gonna be a lot. So if you shy, it's fine. We'll stay right here. This is the safe space. And this is another reason I can already tell how many people are willing to join. And this is what I love the most because I do think what happened is what started off so pure got jaded by the internet, right? So there's so many people like you that I know exist that don't want to come on Facebook or don't want to come on YouTube because they don't want to deal with the riffraff of the world. So I understand that. But back to you. All right. We'll keep it here. No pressure. Again, reminder, once this interview was done, she sent me this message asking me to place her interview on social media. So she did change her mind. And again, it's the only reason why you are watching her interview right now because she changed her mind with it being on social media once the interview was done. And it says, Kendra, I was on the beta test show. I would like to have my interview displayed on socials. Name Cash Out. When was
So
your
she
last
wanted some
relationship?
attention.
It ended last year.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Last year in July.
Okay. Three flaws you have to work on.
Um,
Being too demanding, for one.
what one is a cosmetic flaw. I want to get rid of my gap. Um,
What?
I have low
There's nothing wrong.
tolerance for like certain.
Like I said, she's a good looking woman, at least for the average guy. But there's nothing that she's gonna offer even the rich guy. Sure, maybe she doesn't want the average guy, but what is she gonna offer for the guy with the so-called disposable income with all the qualities and the list of things she mentioned? Nothing.
Things like, so I'm trying to have more patience in that area. And then I can be picky. Well, I won't say picky, but I could
Demanding.
just be like a little probably over selective. So
Yeah.
just trying to relax some of those standards.
I knew it. Over demanding. Good luck to her. Good looking lady. But having a list of 1,000 things and you bring nothing to a man's life, I don't know, ma'am. Maybe that could be a reason why you're 40 and still you haven't found that type of guy. Because they're so busy writing lists of what a man should bring to their life, but they never write a list of things they're going to give to a man, you know? And until they can do that, it's going to be single season. What do you guys think? Link down below to Kendra. All right, next we're gonna go all the way to Lapeef, man. You guys wanted this. This one was crazy because it was man versus man debate. So let's go.
So the prime situation is based what Push Through Shaw mentioned, right? Was from a site. He said obstetrician, correct? All right. We talking about that. We're talking about how a woman is more fertile during this age group. The prime that maybe Bo, I think you're talking about, was something like, is she ready mentally to have children? That's different from, is her body ready to have children? So that's two different things. So the prime that we're talking about, I could assume, I know we're talking about fertility. And for Shannon, right? You said you was married. You don't, you got married at 25, you're 29 and all that stuff. You got married so you can have kids, correct? One of the reasons, I'm not saying that's your total opposite, one of the reasons so you can have children, correct?
No,
So you don't
I've
want
been married
kids
for
or all?
no, I don't want kids. I've been married for 4 years. My wife don't want kids. First of all, I'm 29. My wife is 35. I'm 25. I got with her when she was 30. So no, that prime stuff never mattered to me. I wanted a wife. I liked her. I appreciated her. I don't care about having kids in this world. So no.
I don't believe her. There is no young guy who gets married at 25 who doesn't want kids, which lets me know she probably already had kids when he married her, and probably she told him no more kids, but because he wanted to be Captain Save, what, he decided, I'm in love, let's just get married. Or maybe he thought he would change her mind.
I don't. The kids ain't the overall goal
For
in
you.
my
That's why
situation.
I
I'm
was
not trying to.
assuming. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So like, no, I didn't get married to have kids. I got married because I wanted to do so.
That's what's up. But majority of men, right? They get married to, of course, have a wife, but also to have kids. So in the prime age that we're talking about fertility. We're not saying that women can't have kids after 30 or 30 to 40 and 40 to 50, because that's what's happening now. Sure. But you're more fertile during this time. So that's the only prime that we're talking about. We're not talking about if you're mentally ready, financially stable. So let's keep it where we're talking about. He got the statistic from obstetrician, from medical, right? They're talking about the body, the organs, and all that. That's it. I don't know why we're changing that.
Well, let me see if I could. I think Bohe made a good statement about the body parts and all that. So you say men only see body parts, yeah, because that's all you show, and it might not apply to you. It might, well, whoever it applies. Hit dog, fucking holler. You out here posting your ass and your tits on full display, then want to cry about not being seen for your inner value. And I'm not apologizing for how men react when you advertise the goods and get treated like they're for sale. Presentation matters. It actually does. And if all you're offering is sex appeal, don't expect anyone to look deep. You dress for attention, and that's exactly what you got. Don't blame men for reading the cover when you refuse to write the story correct. So,
I agree. I honestly believe everything men do in terms of dating, right? Everything men do to women, men say towards women. No, I'm not talking about DV and things like that. I'm just talking about in terms of trying to court a woman. Most things men do, how much money they want to spend, buying the flowers, to go on dates, all those things men do is usually because they are doing what women have shown they respond to, right? So when you hear, now, not everything, but some women ask for expensive dinner dates. Guys these days are like, I'm not going to do it, but some guys still do it. Again, it goes back to the fact that if women are walking naked and things like that, men are going to respond to that. If women stop being naked, if women stop demanding dates, if women stopped, putting money as a priority, men will react and give feedback in a different way also.
all this inner value stuff, you gotta act like we gotta stop acting like that is not intrinsically linked to the outer appearance. Men are men are starting to connect the dots on how you display your image to your perceived overall value. And if you don't like it, change it. Simple as that.
Okay,
Go ahead,
so
Marcus.
yeah,
What do we
so
show?
all right,
To be fair though, just real
Let
quick.
Marcus go real quick, and then we're gonna let you. We got you. We got you, bro.
wait for a minute.
trying to press all the topics before y'all go off on a tangent. So the little Tay thing. Me personally, being somebody who, like Bo said, I do, especially pre 25. I'm going to separate these ages. So right now, I'm talking about before I turned 25. I did look at women's titties and ass as the main contributor to anything that I was going to do in regards to women. So so much so, I think controversial Shannon said he was in the same boat, and I argue all the time that it's a biological drive due to the way our testosterone interacts with our body that forces us to go out and seek women. You call it predatory, you could call it a natural instinct, whatever. It exists, and we can't negate that in a conversation, right? Now, I, as somebody who's attracted to those things, I do find it strange. When men like women whose bodies have a prepubescent shape. That is like I've seen Lil Tay. I haven't seen her since I guess she turned 18, but she kind of looks like a little boy or a little like a child from what I remember. Maybe she changed and got all type of implants and all that stuff. That is strange to me. Is it illegal? No. Would I do it? Hell no. But it is occurring. He made a point earlier about how far back would you push the age and how far back would men go. I generally think that's something to dive into to understand, is there validity in that? And when he was talking about the YT men, it's a huge market for men that like women that don't have ass or titties, that and that's primarily that ethnic group's choice, their preference. And then you look at the statistics that say they primarily operate in that field. And I would argue that being attracted to that universally, the same way we might be attracted, well, I might be attracted to a big titties and big ass, universally goes down the thing. So I think it is something to be worried about. I got daughters. If a 40-year-old man was looking at my 10-year-old, and then she kept getting older and older, and then eventually she like, Daddy, you're not going on no date with this nigga. And I'm seeing what's to him because he's been living next door this whole time and thought it was cool to go on a date with you, knowing he knew you as a child. I'm gonna have a personal issue with that shit, a huge issue, and it's not gonna go well 9 times out of 10.
And white, that's what I'm saying, because like they can say it's legal all they want. Let a 35-year-old man try to come after a 21-year-old or 18-year-old, bro. You gonna crash the F out because you know what he thinking. You know
Absolutely.
you is. You know you
But
is.
why though? She in her prime. She
Nah,
18.
my
She
baby
right
ain't in
at
no
the
prime in
stage
no
where she,
18. I'm fine.
Are we talking virgins?
enough babies, and he's old enough to take care of your daughter. So why would it be an
Yeah.
issue? Whenever
And
Honestly, I believe the people who have the biggest issue with age gap relationships, like when a man, an older man wants a younger woman, let's say 10, 15 years, his junior, it's usually the older women because they're thinking, especially if a man has money. If it's a broke man, broke older man, broke 50-year-old wanting a 21-year-old, if he's broke, it doesn't matter. But when it's Shannon Sharp, because he has millions of dollars, women in his age group, so anywhere from 40 to 60, they're going to be like, he should be spending that money on us. We are in his age group. But the part they never talk about is they used to reject him when they were all in their 20s. So when you're all in their 20s, a 20-year-old woman is going to reject a 20-year-old man, and she's going to go for a 30-year-old guy, 40-year-old man who has more money than the 20-year-old man. And then when she becomes 40, and now the 40-year-old man she rejected when they were both 20 gets money and now wants younger women, and then she's going to complain. So I think that's the disconnect.
talking
commonly
about,
shown in society.
I'm sorry. And are we talking about virgins here? Because your daughters ain't virgins. Y'all be acting like your daughters is running around here, little virgins till they're 40. They're having sex at younger than 18. They done already had the
Facts.
peen going on. Over half of them already tasted a man's peen before. It's stats.
Facts.
Over half of them. But by the time they're 19, your daughters are not freaking virgins.
Facts.
Okay?
Well,
And
mine are.
here,
Yeah,
she's
Smex
18
is going
years
to
old. Her
Smex is
own
going to happen.
father vouched for her. Her own father vouches for her. She's an adult. She can make her own decisions. So, look, we try to use this whole pedo thing as we just
That video.
stretch. Okay? You're 18 years old, but I do want to talk about the Christian. There's an OnlyFans model. She calls herself stripping for Jesus. She's a Christian
Cap.
girl. She made $43 million and got 5 million in tips. So I am gonna go back to what Shannon said early on, where the men are the problem when it comes to that part. This lady made, and she was only like 20 years old. Go look her up. She said she's the OnlyFans Christian model. She made $43 million and $5 million in tips. She even showed it from the meet. So he does have a point when it comes down to that type of life as well. I will give him that.
And now, to be fair, I will
I don't think the woman
concede
being a
to the
oh I'm
notion.
sorry. Go ahead.
I will concede to the notion that there are women, younger mostly, that like to show their bodies. Those girls in their prime that y'all like, those are the ones mostly showing their body and putting their body out there.
That's not true. They learn from older women. They learn from their mothers. I just seen some teachers complaining that women are taking their kids in elementary school, taking their kids to school all dressed crazy, titties out, ass out, and the teachers are complaining. So the young girls are learning from the older women, or learning from the older women on social media, older women in public, and learning from their own mothers. So that's not true.
And not putting on any clothes, right? But I will give you that because it does happen. But another thing is, men love to show off their money. Y'all like to buy these cars and y'all like to show off
Because
how
women
much
ask
money
for the
you got.
money.
And you like to,
Because women are always talking about the one six-figure guys, the one rich guys. They don't want the average guy. If you make 50,000, you're not good enough. Like I said in the beginning, what men do, they're reacting to what women do or what women say they want.
y'all love, baby. Protector and provider is the thing that y'all say constantly. And so when you're leading with money and you get used for your money, that's your fault as well because you're showing off your money. You are leading with your money. You're telling us that you are this provider. And so when you get used for your money, when people target you for your money and not for who you are, it is the exact same concept because y'all do that at any age. At least
But who's asking for the money? If women woke up tomorrow and they said, guys, we are sorry, we have been asking for men who make six figures. Now we want men who only make $100 a year. Guess what? Most guys are going to stop showing off the money. Like, it's common sense. Men do what women respond to. That's it.
we grow
But
up and put some clothes
Well,
on.
you're right about that. I completely agree with that point. That's what I, at least I refer to as being financially objectified. And if you go ahead and lead with your wallet, then yes, you deserve to be financially objectified. If you lead with your wallet, that's why I encourage men never to do that. However, I think we also have to hold the women accountable who are objectified if they objectify themselves first, right? So I think we should hold both parties accountable. Another, and that even goes back to a further point when we're saying we should get the men in order, which I agree with controversial Shannon on that. However, what other scenario do we only attack the end user? It never happens. If I'm your local pusher, they're not going to penalize the fiend more than they are the dope dealer. So I think that both sides should be held accountable. There's no scenario where the end user gets the stiffest penalty or is the one that needs straightening. I think that we need to start from the bottom and penalize everybody. I think we should be holding men as well as women accountable for it. I don't believe in that whole OF stuff. You're never going to see me spend $1 on it, particularly on no damn young girls. I think that's seriously weird. But I do think we have to hold both sides accountable because when you don't, then if you accept it on one side and not the other, it's not ever going to work. You have to attack the problem from all sides.
I
So
think
look,
the issue is that it's never been any accountability on either side. It's
Correct.
always just been what's been done. Like I don't understand why we're talking about this like OF is new. Like this is the first time we've ever seen young girls selling their bodies and stuff like that. No, this has been going on forever. It's the oldest profession. And
It's the oldest profession, but women like you always claim your body, your choice. My body, my choice. I can do what I want. When men complain, you're like, you can't tell me what to do. It's my body. So, which is it? So, is it that you have not been held accountable, or is it that you don't care when people try to hold you accountable? Because this woman is gonna scream, "My body, my choice," and then in the same sentence say, "But we're not being held accountable." You have been held accountable. You just don't listen.
men
so
have
look,
always been paying into it.
So who are we supposed to hold accountable at that point? It's the societal norm for us not to hold anyone accountable. It's to the point now you don't even have to pay for OF. I don't even understand why men pay for it when you can get porn for free.
Well,
Like
first of
it
all,
just doesn't make sense.
in order to
I
hold
got one. Oh, my bad.
one
Go ahead, Darren. Go ahead.
first of all, in order to hold a particular group or person or whatever accountable, you got to either enforce some type of consequence or you got to remove some type of privilege. And ain't nobody, all most of the people out here complaining don't have no control over OnlyFans. So somebody said men only want women for their body and reproduction. Cool, but let's flip that. What else are a lot of these women actually offering? Loyalty, that's rare. Peace, uncommon.
True.
Submission, a lot of women don't even like the term; they get triggered.
Yep, they claim it's
A,
slavery.
if you want to try to push a vision for a woman to build with, hell no. But let's be real. Half of them don't even believe they need a man,
Facts.
but somehow they still want his money, his time, his lifestyle. When a
Facts.
man wakes up and realizes the only thing she brings to the table is some head and some hips to grip while he hit it from the back, why should he feel bad?
Clap them
Y'all be saying
cheeks.
I don't need a man for a
What? Oh,
decade.
mute up.
Now it's a problem when men treat y'all like we don't need you either. No,
Hmm.
that's just a rabbit got the gun now.
Let
And in
him
this climate,
cook.
if a woman doesn't meet a strict high value standard, she for the streets, period. So if a man chooses to slut her out and keep it moving, no guilt needed.
Let
Because
him
she don't
cook.
value herself like a wife, and her mama damn sure didn't raise her to be one.
Let him cook.
Question: is there any men on the panel that's married? Anyone? I just need one.
I think Darwin
Any
is
man on the
married.
No.
panel that's married?
Actually, I think
All
all
of
the
them are
men on the
Darn,
married.
you
panel
married?
are married. Uh,
Yep.
You married?
Yep.
You married?
I am married.
And and the loyalty. You
Thank you.
married.
That's what I was gonna say. Come
I
on.
That
am
don't make
married. How
no
many
damn
times
Come
I
on.
sense.
that's dumb.
The women not loyal. But I got me a loyal woman sitting beside me. The women don't submit, but I got the ability to put her in a motherfucking feminine place. The women don't do this, but I'm that man that can make a woman do that. Cause when I step, she understands that I'm a real one. That don't make no sense, y'all. You got a good woman. So your woman loyal. You married, but the women not this. But you experiencing the stuff that you saying you ain't getting. That's
This guy is dumb. He's not talking about himself. Just because he has a good loyal woman, he's married, doesn't mean that the majority of men are not going through exactly what he said. We can even flip this. A married woman can literally say men are not providers, men are not, leaders out here. Even if she has a good provider, a good leader, she can talk about the experiences of other women. That's a dumb argument. Oh my goodness. Where did they get this guy from? That's so stupid. He's not talking about himself. Like, that's common sense. It should be obvious that he's not talking about himself.
stuff
Listen
don't
to
make
what
no
you do
sense,
to the
bro.
men, though,
There are
Shannon.
plenty. There are plenty of.
Well,
There
let
are
him finish.
plenty. Pause. 1 second. There are plenty of good women out here that are ready and right for the picking. And all you gotta do is say, "I got you." You do what you're supposed to do as a man. The woman go do what she's supposed to do as a woman. It works. My whole family is married to black women. I don't know what an interracial relationship look like. All I know is black women. That's all I care about. And I know that black women are the most loving, the most submissive, the most all that you name. As long as I do what
Not
I'm
all,
supposed to do and
not
walk in
all,
my
but I do
purpose and
want
my
to say
leadership,
this,
I'm
Shannon.
gonna get that. Now, how can a married man up here? Hold on, lady, wait, pause 1 second. How can a married man who is experiencing the love and the things that he's saying that they not getting, get up here and say that this is what men are not getting when he getting it? I'm getting it.
Yeah, because he can speak on experiences of other men. This is the guy who's gonna tell you that men don't lose half their shit. This is the type of guy who's gonna tell you that men are not put on child support. This is the type of guy who's gonna tell you that men are not forced men are not refused to see their own kids because he's not going through the same exact thing. You see how that doesn't make sense? Just because he has a good woman and he can see his kids doesn't mean there's not millions of men who are not fighting to see their kids every single day. Like that. Oh my goodness. We got a new Derek Jackson.
There
What
are
was it?
men in my
Isn't that
family
what you
getting it.
do to men
My
though,
What,
Shannon?
friends
When you
are
get up
getting
there
it.
and
That don't
drag
make
men
no
all the
goddamn
time,
sense.
do you
Shannon, you
want me to do you
monologuing
want
up.
me
It
to
You
don't
just
make no
don't
respond,
damn
even
or you
admit.
want to
sense.
keep it?
You make video after
Yeah,
video
I
about
mean,
how
I can't.
men
I
are
mean, how
so
you gonna
bad with
respond when he?
allegedly you
How
the
you gonna
loving
respond when
husband.
Dr. Lady O responded?
How you the
She gonna
only
she
loving
gonna she gonna
husband?
she gonna cape she gonna cape
You
every
know
time.
I'm gonna cut you
I'm
off.
a loving
How you
husband.
how,
I'm
how you the only
I'm a
loving
loving
husband?
husband.
All other black men are bad men. You
I
do the
was just
I
same
didn't
about to
say
thing
ask
I
that
that.
was.
these
Like,
men do to
I
black men.
never said I was the only
You do
loving
the
husband.
same
He
hypocritical
didn't say
thing. You
that.
a hypocrite, dude.
He
I didn't
he
say
made
I didn't say that not
You
one time in
always
my
he,
dragging
statement.
black
Darwin
men.
is a
You
loving husband.
always dragging black men,
Yup.
Shannon. But you cannot.
Darwin, I'm
No,
always
you
dragging
don't.
trash. I will
You
you damn right. I will drag the trash black man. I will
okay?
So he's dragging the trash women. It's the same logic you're using. It's the same logic he used. You claim you have a good woman and you're a good man, but you claim there's trash men. So he's claiming he has a good woman, but he's claiming there are trash women out here. I don't know where they got Derek Jackson Jr. from. This is crazy.
And they
drag the
have a right.
goddamn
And they
murderer.
don't have
I
a
will
right.
I will drag any lady. Oh, I will drag any nigga who open up his mouth about the woman who gave birth to me. I will drag any goddamn
You
man who
talking
get up
about a
on here and
small percentage
disrespect
of
my group of
men,
women.
though,
Point
Shannon.
blank, period. Because that's what a man's supposed to do. I'm supposed to have more smoke for men. That's
And
what
I
a man
still got smoke
does.
for women,
What is
right?
y'all
And I
talking
still
about?
got
When
some
we gonna
women.
start acting like men again?
And my
When we
supposed
gonna
to be
start
acting
acting
with
like
women,
men again?
right?
You got these dudes
Lady
who
O,
spend
you
more
do go
time
after men.
addressing
hold on.
Why
women
you
than
mad at
addressing a
Shannon for going after
goddamn man
men?
He act
who
like
call
I don't
themselves
need it.
leaders and shit.
Check,
You got
check,
you got
check.
dudes who call themselves leaders who spend more time addressing women than addressing men, and you got the nerve to call yourself a man. Y'all complain about women all day 24/7, won't take on the white man for nothing. 27 neighborhoods been flooded out. You ain't doing shit to the white man. God dang me, 12,000 black women come up missing. You ain't doing nothing about it. You ain't
They said they're strong and independent. What the fuck do you want them to do? How can you protect the same person who told you they make their own money, they don't need you, their body, their choice? How can you protect them? Like, this doesn't. Where did they get Derek Jackson Jr. from? This doesn't make sense.
built a Wall Street. You ain't did nothing about y'all scream leaders. And we complain about goddamn relationship. But all a man has to do is step and that woman go fall in line. That's why it's hard for me to take y'all old, it's your old men serious. Y'all, the women don't do this, but you laid up with a woman that's doing that. And it's
Well, how
plenty of
about
good black women out here. Y'all tell the women, y'all tell the women to choose better all the time. Why can't you choose a good black woman? Why you keep getting in failed relationships? Why you keep choosing a Jezebel?
Because they
Why
see
we
their
can't never
mamas
flip
doing
back
it.
on the men?
They see their mamas
Why
doing it.
my
They
mama
see
died?
the trash
Why can't
mamas
y'all
out here
choose?
not raising
Why
half
can't
right,
y'all
don't have a
choose?
father alive
Why
in their
can't
lives.
y'all
It's
choose
the
a
women.
suitable black woman? When there's plenty of
Jarvis,
good
you
black
got to
women out here,
respond
I
to
want
that.
to ask you a minute, how you
I'm
keep
waiting
getting
on
your dang heart
opportunity
broken
to
by
talk.
a
I gotta
woman
let him
that ain't
finish.
no good? You gotta vet better, discern better, choose better. Choose better. Stop choosing a damn horrible woman when there's a good.
Are you going to? Is he going to tell the same thing to women who complain about men? Is he going to tell them choose better when they say there are no providers? Is he going to tell them choose better when they have five different baby daddies? No, he's not going to. This man literally just said he married a woman who was 35 when he was 25 and she refused to give him kids. Now he's claiming he doesn't want kids. Which man marries a woman when he's 25 and claims he doesn't want kids? I can guarantee you she's a single mom. I don't know for sure, but the only woman who usually doesn't want kids when she's 35 is a woman who already has kids.
Black woman that you done messed over. Shut that, man. Nobody want to hear that nonsense. That's what I'm talking about. You got married men that be on a panel talking about that the women are doing this and the black woman and all the women showing that their body. Your wife ain't showing her body. She probably only showing her body to you, or is she showing her body to you?
Because guys, I'm sorry for pausing it because I'm getting heated too. Because any sensible person knows that you have to speak in general. You cannot speak about your only experience. If you're gonna have a debate, you are the exception. You are not the rule. Like I would hope that's common sense, but clearly he's not using his brain. The only reason why a married man like him would talk about other issues men go through is because he's not the majority. He's speaking about things other men go through. The same way you speak about things women go through, he's speaking about things men go through. He's the exception. He has to take himself out of the argument and put himself in other people's shoes.
shit don't make. I'm sorry for cursing, bro. Y'all, I'm sorry for getting passionate. My bad, Darwin. My bad, Darwin. I apologize. But
Shannon, you
it
good.
just ticked
You
me
can
off because I always hear a married man say this. You married.
if you could
You experiencing it. I'm gonna be
Hey,
quiet now. I'm gonna
Shannon,
mute up. I'm gonna let you respond.
do you go after the married women that
if,
get on these
you
panels and trash black men and then they're married
Why am
men?
I
Do
going?
you go
How am I
trash
going
them?
after the
Do
women?
you go trash the
Oh,
married women that get on these
I'm
panels and
not
act like
going
they're not
after
married
no
and
woman.
they trash them husbands and they're married themselves. They cook and
I
clean
never. What do you mean I'm going after those
no,
women?
you're not honest about you. I need you to be honest. Okay. You do not go and some of the panels that you need to
What
go
you be
in.
honest about?
You make a lot of simp
I'm sorry, I
videos.
couldn't hear you. Say it again. Say it again.
You need to
Say it
check the
again.
women too. You need to check the women that are married
How
women
do
that
you
get on
check
these
the women
panels and
first?
always and trash black men.
How do
If
you
you
check
want to
the
say
women
let me
first?
tell you something. The
Lady
men who are
O,
not
women
hold
have
on.
only Lady
Every
O. Let me
man,
tell you. Let me be honest.
hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Women are only doing
All
to
women are
men
not good
what was
women though,
done
sir.
to them. You
Shannon,
taught
all
them to hate your
that's
you
false. That's
historically.
false. That's
Historically.
false. That's false.
Historically. How have
That's
I
false.
got one to watch this?
That's
Historically,
false.
how have women been treated? You
And
want to
both
address it from
of
a
them,
biblical lens? You want to
don't do
address it from
that.
a historical lens?
Both of
How
them
do
has
you
been
want
the
to address
same.
it?
It has
How
been
do
the
y'all
same.
want to
It is the
address it?
same here.
How do
Shannon,
you
all
want to
women are not good
address it?
women. All women are not good women,
How do
Shannon.
I'm hoping Darwin responds. I'm waiting for his response because this is so easy. This is common sense. He's just screaming because he doesn't want Darwin to respond, or he wants to impress the feminist Ty. I know she looks good. I know, but she's a feminist regardless. And oh, obviously, the famous ball.
y'all want to address it?
I dress
Historically,
black women all the time.
biblically, statistically, how do you
All
want
right,
to address the problem?
all right, Shannon.
Answer that
Let's
question.
let
How
Yeah,
do you
he
want
needs
me
to
to
let's
shut
answer?
up so Darwin can say
yeah,
something.
let's let somebody counter to your
What
point, and then
Darvin got to
Oh, yeah,
respond.
let me just see if I can respond to Shannon earlier. And it's
Go on, go
okay for
on.
you to be passionate,
Cook him.
but
Cook
I
him.
kind of lost the question that you wanted me to answer.
You married to a black woman, brother?
Am I married to a black woman?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Your wife good, right?
Yep.
So you experiencing the things that you say men not getting,
Am
or you
I
said the women
experiencing?
not doing, right?
I have before, but I
This
don't.
guy is dumb.
No, I don't. I don't experience that.
In your current marriage, you're not experiencing a.
No. No. If you
All right,
heard
man.
what I said, the last thing I said, what did I say? I said,
I ain't
if
gonna
a
lie to you. I
woman,
forgot because I was fussing with Lady O.
the last thing I said was, if a woman doesn't meet a strict, high value standard, she for the streets, period. What I did was I was very meticulous with my selection process. And when I chose my woman, when I chose my wife, I chose her young. I chose her at the top of her mating market prime, and I sealed the deal. I got very lucky finding a woman who was not tarnished by societal pressures, feminism, and all these other rhetorics. I
That's
found
it. That's it. And he's not speaking about himself. He's speaking about what the average guy goes through. I've done countless of videos of where the average woman thinks the average man is below him. You guys have watched those videos. That's all he's speaking about. Just because he has a good woman doesn't make him blind to what the average guy goes through out here in the dating streets. Anyway, man, I've covered the video is so long, so I'll put the link down below to the Pips channel. What do you guys think about that? All right, next. Oh my God. Let's get to Anton Daniels. But this is the after hours show. We're gonna be talking about Shakari Richardson. Um, she was on video, I think in an airport, beating on her boyfriend. And some people they're saying there's nothing wrong. She didn't really do nothing wrong. Some people want her cancelled. So let's get into it.
Was happening at the airport between her and her boyfriend, and also the response that her boyfriend had when they asked him about it.
Now, look at your street. Down in the lower right corner, that is Shakar Richardson and her boyfriend, Christian Coleman. And Shakar Richardson, we can see she body slams Christian Coleman. Oh my God. She is strong as hell. But she body slams him into the concrete. Like, his shoulder must be hurting him. Anyways, Christian Coleman, he tries his best to walk away. We can see Shakar pushes him again. And now they return into the camera field of view. Christian Coleman is trying his best to walk away. Respect for him to, keeping his hands and his anger, because things like these, remember, we're human beings and feelings can get to a point where we can't manage. But Christian Coleman, he tries his best to walk away. He kind of uses his shoulder to push her a bit. Shakur Richardson, oh my God, she's still pushing him. We can see their walk away out of the field of view. But that is the official footage, my people. It was recently released. As we know, she was in prison for a while, but she was released after. And, Christian Coleman, he did speak about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to play the clip right now.
Like, I don't feel as if like she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people have sentiments and emotions and stuff like that. And she have like things that she need to work on for herself. Of course, so do I. So do you. So do you. Like everybody. And I'm the type of guy like I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if like I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like I just look at like situations like this to just like take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and a human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so that's kind of how I look at the situation.
So that is a general idea of what was going on with the whole situation. How do you guys feel about people saying that she should be held accountable more for her actions towards her boyfriend inside of the airport?
I don't. Well, given what he said, and he didn't want to be a victim, like if there's no victim, then why does she need to be held accountable if he don't want to do nothing? Like there has to be a complainant. So no, like it was wrong, but I don't think anything should happen to him if he don't care. I don't think anything should happen.
The issue is if the roles were reversed and it was a man, on camera, pushing, shoving, beating up his girlfriend, because they're both athletes, he would have lost all his Nike deals, all his sponsorships. He probably would have been dropped by his coach. He probably would still be in jail. Like if the roles were reversed, he would have lost so much money. But for him to come on camera and talk about, oh no, it was a mistake and this, if it was roles reversed, she would never get on camera. She would still be playing victim. Oh, he beat me up. Oh, he did this. She would probably even sue him for some money for domestic abuse. But it's just so funny to see when domestic abuse violence happens to men. Men don't want to speak up. Men want to act tough, and I'm a tough guy. She didn't do nothing to me. I'm not a victim. But they never think about that. If the roles were reversed, his life would be over. Like so many guys have lost so much money. They've lost positions on teams because of situations like this.
His speech to me sound like he did something he wasn't supposed to do.
See?
She
Now
reacted,
now
and
she's
he's trying to
blaming him.
take up for her because he know he messed up. That's what it sounds like to me.
And this is what they all do. They always blame the man. But if the roles are reversed, and a man says, oh, she must have done something to him, that's why he beat her up, she would never take it. They will be like, oh, you're victim shaming, you're victim blaming. But when a man gets beaten up, oh, he must have done something wrong. Crazy.
But because if she body slammed in front of all those people at the airport.
Did you see that video? She didn't body, that dude lied. She didn't body slam.
Body slam.
Okay, y'all, body slams are like this, but what they're saying is when you slam your body up against somebody.
Oh, the hockey check? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you can hurt somebody like that. Especially if yes, you can. If you push them off guard, people then push people off of. Never mind.
Good job, Mika.
We in a sensitive day and age.
I think that's probably like the sentiment of most men when their women act this. I think a lot of dudes get beat up.
No.
And they just take it. More men need to fight back. Is what her accountability should look like.
No, men don't need to fight back. So what the guy did in the video, he did right. He didn't fight back. But one thing he has to do is walk away. Because eventually, he's going to snap. Eventually, because let's say she pushes him, it's not enough. Because what they do is that they're going to push you, they're going to call you all sorts of names, and then it's gonna escalate from pushing you to throwing things at you to punching you. And because we're human, we have self-defense mechanism in us. He's gonna react. He's much bigger than her. He's gonna defend himself by throwing a punch, and before you know it, he's in jail. Before you know it, she's gonna call the cops on him. So the best thing for a man to do in that situation is walk away. The moment she tries to get physical with you, don't retaliate. Sure, you don't want to go to jail, fine, but that should be the end of the relationship, because otherwise it's gonna get worse.
Now, if he did what he was supposed to do, he'd have got canceled. That's for sure.
Yes, exactly.
He'd have definitely got canceled. Because if he'd have
Facts.
shook her ass
Yeah.
like he was supposed to,
You'll
he'd
be in
done
jail.
so.
He should
Yeah.
have.
No.
Well,
Oh, now with all the
if it was in
cameras
private,
around,
you know,
did the
if
right
it was in
thing.
private,
Yeah, in private. Bitch, what the fuck wrong with you? Like, but
no, in
publicly,
private,
you
he
just
would have
gotta
been
be
in
like,
trouble. But
No,
there
publicly,
she
it
go.
was on camera.
He can't do that. He can't do that at no fucking airport. Hell no.
but she can't do what she did at the airport.
He
That's why
can.
she
It's
got
a woman. We can't.
Didn't she get arrested?
Mika.
that's federal.
Mika, we can't hold women accountable.
Didn't she get
That's
arrested?
true.
Right.
We can't hold women accountable.
Airport.
She got a
She got arrested because she was on camera, and maybe even other people who called the police. I'm very sure it wasn't the boyfriend who called the police. But if it happened behind closed doors, nothing would have happened. No one would know, right? So the only reason she was arrested is because it's on camera, and the police has to do their job. Whether the guy files a complaint, files a police case, or anything like that, the police will still pick her up.
I'm talking about the man that deals with the woman. I'm talking about the man that's dealing with the woman. We're not talking about authorities.
he could press charges.
It's not
if he
federal. It's state. It's governed by the county. It's not federal until you get on the
I'm saying is
I'm
a
sorry.
man that's dealing with the woman can't hold her accountable. He has to call the police. Or he can shake her. In public, being who he is, that's not a good look. He did the right thing, walked away. Whatever happens to her, happens to her. She shouldn't have did that. Like, I don't care how many bitches he fucked on that team. Who cares?
Is that,
Is
that what it was about?
Right, is that
no,
what
no, no,
I
no.
thought he took something from her,
I
and
don't.
that was her reaction.
I
from
don't
him
know
taking
what it's
whatever he took
about.
from
What
her.
I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what took place. She wasn't
Facts.
supposed to do that, but he did the right thing by not doing anything
And
and just standing there.
he needs to do even something more right by breaking up with her.
And his response was just like, "Hey, man, I like to give people grace," and you could tell he does because he definitely he tried his best to avoid her. But I do
We
agree
don't-
that he might have did something wrong though.
It doesn't
Yeah, we
matter.
don't know what he did before that part.
Yeah, but
so I thought about that, Molly.
Not
Like,
there.
I don't know what he did, but does that matter? Like, you
It
shouldn't be
doesn't.
putting your hands on people
Facts.
because I feel like
It
you
could have
can't.
been worse. Like, it could have been worse. They were probably embarrassed more than anything, but we acting like she just beat him upside his head with some chairs.
So are we supposed to wait for her to actually beat him up and bleed for us to talk about it, or for us to hold her accountable and for us to take her serious? Because that's how it starts. You know, not every domestic violence situation starts with someone bleeding. No, it starts with arguments, pushing, words, and then it escalates. So this woman is literally saying what she did in the video is not a big issue because the guy wasn't bleeding. I'm telling you, man, the double standards.
She pushed a grown man. Like,
Right, and if that
okay.
grown man had
she
pushed
shouldn't
that
have put her
grown
hands
woman,
on
Yeah.
him at all. Because
I'm not saying what she did was right, but at the same time, I think it's
She's a
blown
feminist.
out of proportion. And he also interviewed saying he feels like it was blown out of proportion.
that's because he knows
like
he knows the community is going to call him gay if he
Facts.
does anything else.
right? And how
Facts.
many women get their heads bashed in and then be like, "Oh, well, he's a great guy and he didn't mean it and it was my fault."
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really take the victim's word for stuff like that. We saw what happened.
Facts.
We saw that piece.
This is the first time I'm agreeing with Kimmy or Kimini. It's the first time. She's right. Like, when it's like I said, when it's a woman who's on the other end of domestic violence, this woman would never say, "Oh, she must have done something to piss the guy off." No, it's straight away throw him in jail. Men are bad. Men attack women. We hate men. But when it's a woman who attacks a man, Women like her, the feminists, are claiming, oh, he must have done something to her, and that's why she snapped. It's his fault. He must have been cheating.
Of what happened. We don't know.
And we only saw a piece of what happened to
And we
P.
don't know what
Diddy.
they do
You know
behind
what I'm
closed
saying? And
doors.
everybody
Maybe they put their hands on each other behind closed doors. Like we
everybody
don't.
made a big
If
point
that's
about
the case,
P.
keep it
Diddy.
behind the closed door. Don't
But
bring it
my
out
thing is,
public when we see you do it.
what is she gonna get canceled for? Because
She
we
aggressive.
saw P. Diddy beat up Cassie way worse, and nobody
But
wants to
but he
cancel
put
him
it.
like that.
But we don't know.
And Diddy paid money, had to pay Cassie $30 million. Is she gonna pay this man? No. And Diddy lost brand deals. Is she gonna lose brand deals? Probably not. But if it was a man, he would get canceled. Number one, he would lose brand deals and sponsorships. Anyway, man, enough of this feminist BS. Shout out to Anton Daniels. After hours, link down below. All right, next. Oh, we still have another after hours. Uh, Anton Daniels. All right, so I'll do this one. Women want to date 6 men at the same time. What do you guys think? So let's go.
Non-committal, friends with benefits situations with men while also wanting the feelings of being cared for, like if they were their partner.
I loved what you said so much about accepting your fate because when you just know in your heart, and most people can know this, 80% of people will find a long-term partner by 40. I can't promise you that 80% of people are going to get a house, are going to have their dream job. I can't make that kind of promise. You're going to live in the best city. But that is a stat that only exists for this space. So you can almost move like it's going to happen. But you also have no control over when you meet that person. What you do have control over, I think, though, is your light. Like being in a space where you are light, where you feel liquid, where you don't feel needy because you have opportunities around you. I would say, and I did this when I had a fuck buddy, which Jared is my fuck buddy, which is the worst plot twist. I know, it's so boring.
Now look
But
what
it
you
was
turned
such a
into.
good fuck buddy relationship because I had Jared as a fuck buddy. I had a cuddle buddy who I would go and sleep over with afterwards because that's
not what y'all had.
No, but the other guy, I would go over there. We never had sex, but I would walk his dog.
It had to be smaller.
We would be
attracted.
He was so fine. He was a model. He wasn't what Jared had sexually sauce wise and skill wise.
Skill.
This other dude was stunning and gorgeous. I loved being around him. I liked his energy. I just didn't think we would have great sex. But I knew I liked being around somebody really attractive and he was fun. You can have 6 people that make up one and keep your heart open and knowing that when you find the one, you're going to know.
And you don't have to sleep with all 6. That's
So,
Hey, what the?
I know. Wait. I knew
This
this was
is
going to trigger
crazy.
Slimmy.
This
No,
is
no, no,
crazy.
I gotta get ready.
Before we get to Slimmy, I want to go to Kimmy
This is crazy.
and then Carrie, and then y'all can jump in.
Let's see what the ladies have to
Kimmy,
say.
What do you, or Kim and I, what do you feel? What's your reaction to what was communicated by the ladies? And
I hope
what they said.
I won't be surprised if she
Okay,
agrees.
so
If she
when you
agrees.
first said it before you played it, like having the different men for different things, I'm like, okay, I could see how that could work. But then that first girl said you can have different men as different friends with benefits, and that's where I got lost, and I just never really came back to it. I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want. I wouldn't recommend that. I do think that if you are not married, you're single until you are, so you can kind of move around in that space, but that doesn't mean have all these random friends with benefits. Like, I don't like how we've even downgraded the term to include it and say friends. We're just trying to make it seem like you're just not hoeing around, which is what
Well,
it
they
is.
should.
So she kind of agrees, but she doesn't agree. And this is what women do. Women don't like to hold each other accountable all the way. And the reason I think they don't like to hold each other accountable because they're hoping if they also do some, some random BS, they're hoping their sisterhood don't hold them accountable. Because she knows if she says, "Oh, she's a hoe," she's a, she sleeps around, she has no value. other women may come for her. So women try to trade the line, the thin line. She kind of held accountable, but then she also said you can do whatever you want to do, rather than that's bad. No woman should ever do that. I wouldn't want my daughters to do that. I wouldn't want my sister to do that. She's like in between, like she's not sure, but I think she's okay with it.
She didn't say what the benefit was. Well,
We
she
know.
said it. She said, and then she said cuddling and sex. So she gets sex from one
Yeah.
dude and
So
cuddling from the other.
we
But
saying
she didn't say all the friends with benefits means she was having sex with all these random dudes.
that first girl did, and she said friends with benefits, and we know what friends with benefits traditionally means.
Facts.
So that's where I went with that. Then the girl was like, "Oh well, I cuddle with this one, I do that with this one." Just she's using a bunch of people to me. I don't know how she could keep her heart open and in its purest state to want to be with
Her connection is bad.
Stroll streaming.
She said her internet was acting up.
did my internet do something weird?
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
I'm out here. I'm in Puerto Rico for a couple days. This has been messing up, but anyway, I just don't think how I don't understand how she could keep her heart open and as pure as she needs it to be to attract the person that she's gonna want to be with for life or whatever when she's got her hands in all these different pots.
Honestly, personally, I don't care what women do. Um, Remember, their body, their choice. I agree with that 100%. As long as when she gets 45, 35, 55, she doesn't force men to accept her. You know how a man may refuse to get a stable job, a stable career, may refuse to make money, may refuse to go to the gym, may refuse to improve himself? No man should force women to accept him for being a bum. I'm sure every woman would agree with me on that point, right? Like no man should be a bum and doesn't care about himself and then scream, I deserve a 10 out of 10. I deserve a woman to be submissive to me. Women are never going to take that. So if a woman is out here sleeping with different six men and friends with benefits here and friends with benefits here, fucking ABCD, like she can do whatever she wants as long as when she has kids with some of those men and she claims she's tired of the whole phase, she's a born again virgin, she doesn't force men to accept her for what she used to do. If that's okay, then she can do whatever she wants.
Carrie, what are your thoughts?
These are the dangers of one, people who have a off the hook pass but land on their feet, like relationship wise, they land with a man, and two, people who are not willing to admit that they didn't make the best decisions in their past. They because
Facts.
they land on their feet, they can make any decision they've made okay. And that's what I heard from her. I heard her make her past okay because she ultimately ended up with her husband. And I don't
Yeah.
hear her um like she's making it seem like, so follow what I did, like it'll work, you'll get your man, you lucked up, she's pretty, so you got your man. But you're sitting here telling people to go find a cuddle guy, a f buddy, a this guy, a that guy. It just destroy, and they're eating it up. They are eating it up.
I agree with Carrie because the woman right here, you can see in the corner right here, she's a good looking woman. You guys, if you watched in the clip in the beginning. So for her, by the way, she's married now. She was able to find, some guy who knew all her past. But because she's such a good-looking woman, some guys don't care. Like some men would literally take a woman who's really good-looking, who used to sleep with a whole village. They would settle with her rather than settle with a woman who's average in looks, who's a virgin. If we're gonna be honest as men, some guys do that. So because she's a good-looking woman, used to have fuck buddies and all these different kinds of friends with benefits kind of men, six men at the same time. She's telling younger women to do what she used to do. But the average woman is not as good looking as her. And the average woman is not having hundreds of men chasing. Well, maybe they do. But the average woman is not having every man trying to marry her. And not every woman is going to have a whole face and have a man, a Prince Charming, waiting at the end when she's 45 to marry her. I agree with Carrie.
So I think that's This is where Quentin gets to come in and say his statement that I hate that he says.
What does he say? Women are stupid.
Women are so fucking stupid. They're stupid and they're dumb and they're freaking slurs.
I don't know what that means, Quentin. What is this? What is this? What does that mean?
I didn't want to get us
Bloody
demonetized, so I said slur instead of the H word.
What is this? What does that mean? What is
They're
this?
whore. They give their open womb between their legs to anybody.
Clearly.
I don't know. That was just. And what was interesting is all she gave her. I'm assuming when they named the guy that like she married her F buddy, and maybe further on in the interview, I mean in the conversation, she gives more color to him, or maybe he's a part of that community, so everybody knows him. But she made the cuddle guy like really more significant. She's like, yeah, nah, he was great. I love being around him, good looking, this, that, and the third. But he didn't have that D like my husband. Or, like the other guy. That's like
I don't even believe it that he was just a cuddle guy. I believe they fucked before. Maybe she didn't like the sex and then she just decided to put him. But cuddle and no sex, no man is going for that. No, like I said, she's a beautiful woman. So even then, I don't think any guy is just going to cuddle with a beautiful woman and don't want to clap chicks. So I believe the clap chicks, the sex wasn't good, but she just stayed there because she liked something about him. Apparently, the cuddles. So I don't believe he didn't clap the chicks.
I don't know, it just kind of came across. I know she wasn't being. He probably didn't take it as disrespect, but it just came across as kind of like, so you just married the guy who had the best D.
Yeah,
that's all your husband was for you.
Yeah, disrespectful to the husband.
At some point, did he become the better guy? Did you vibe with him more? Like, I don't know, just kind of came across as crazy.
I know you always say don't make it personal, but I see what these stupid hoes on the internet say. But I also know a whole bunch of 60-year-old women who fucked it up and they out here down bad at 60 plus, and because they ain't got no man that they could have stuck with for the duration of their life. So whatever. Y'all need,
Why'd you say
somebody.
whatever? What do you say whatever?
Y'all need somebody before y'all need somebody before we do.
I didn't hear all the way you said because you went out from me, but
Slimmy,
I gotta stop taking advice from these hoes. I gotta stop taking advice from these hoes. They down bad. They down so bad. Like,
Slimmy's so funny,
bad.
Man.
This pussy liberation bullshit gonna have y'all fucked over for decades.
Nah.
Like, honestly, men aren't incentivized to take full advice from the degeneracy of the worst men who sometimes may be seen a certain way. Pimps, we aren't incentivized to take a lot of advice from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though some of their qualities, as far as how to train women, are actually helpful, we still aren't incentivized to listen to no damn pimps. But lately, women that are off the rails, off the hinges, just completely fucking masculine as fuck, are the head voice of fucking women now.
But that's what women like. Unfortunately, the women who are nice wives who respect their husbands are not put up. They're not talked about in the media because other women attack them. Like if a woman praises a man, says how much she does, everything she does for her man and things like that, other women attack her, talking about, no, he should be doing those things for you. Who do you think you are? That's slavery. So the good women are attacked by other women. But the women who preach sex liberation and empowerment, other women like that. But at the end of the day, the person who wins from all these are the tall guys, are the guys with money, because those are the guys they want, are the handsome guys, because all the women tend to go for those same type of guys. So guys who have the height, the good looking guys, the rich guys, like the sex liberation or movement and my body, my choice, I can sleep with as many guys as I want kind of movement, because all the women get to sleep with them, right? The guys who don't love it are the average guys, because even when a woman is sleeping around, she tends not to sleep with the average guys unless the average guy is tall. And when I say average, I mean in terms of earning potential, right? Unless he's tall, something about him, right? So anyway, what do you guys think about that? Link down below to After Hours with Anton Daniels. Until next time, peace.